Good afternoon, everybody. How is it going? We are going to check out a little bit of Children of Morta today. Currently we have this list of stuff here. Some of these updates that I guess they have done recently through 2020. New game plus, a hard mode, new character. Apparently this is a paid DLC that adds some stuff, which I don't know how that works. So I don't recall seeing this on the paid DLC list. So there it is. Treasure update, new items, small free update, and the new game mode Family Trials, which appears to be some sort of I'm not entirely sure how that works. I don't know if it's still random. I guess it is, but you can, as you can see here, there are a variety of changes that kind of make it a standalone mode from the original game, I guess. So we're going to go with the main story. I have never seen anything about this game. It was on sale. There have been some recent updates. It did look cool to me a couple times when I sort of looked at it in the past, so I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. But honestly, I know absolutely nothing about this game. Roguelike players who want an even greater challenge, well, that would definitely be me. I'm all about them hard modes, so let's see how this goes.
Margaret awoke, startled, a cold sweat clinging to her. She gathered her thoughts.
This is a lot more intense than I was expecting, I gotta say.
Aged wood creaked, echoing through the quiet rooms. Near the house stood a shrine to Rhea Dana, goddess and daughter of the land, of Rhea and a being of comfort. Margaret sought answers. But the goddess did not speak. There was only the faint whisper of something dark, something hungry. The old seer's bones felt the weight of their age as she climbed. The only thought on her mind, has it begun again?
Wow, okay. There's a lot going on here.
John's mission would be a simple one. He was to investigate Rhea's greatest shrine. His mother presented him with a fresh divinity shard. From his brother came a newly sharpened sword. His wife gave him a kiss, and his daughter's hugs were full of reason to return home safe.
editor mode, there was a missing apostrophe there that really bothers me in the old subtitles. Sorry, developers. This is cool. This is interesting. I really don't know what I was expecting, but maybe not quite something so epic. At least not this soon. Okay. Movement, relatively straightforward. Okay, Y is a sword slash, L is shield. Guess we're starting out as John was his name, I think.
Rhea, a land long forgotten, a place of unimaginable beauty.
Well, yeah, it's definitely pretty. I'll give it that.
It first appeared as sludge given life, slithering creatures, small and vile.
Okay, figured that out. Thank you. Okay, yes, B is a dash, which has a meter that fills underneath your character. Yeah, yes, it does have some nice art. That was the first thing I noticed about it, I guess. Which is one of the reasons it was on my radar, although I think it was Blues who said something about it, indicating it was good or interesting or something. And it recently got a bunch of updates. I destroy this plant. It is an indestructible plant, so no. Hello, bunny. Just like a random dead rabbit. Evade attacks at the right time to avoid incoming damage. The evade bar under characters' feet shows when they can evade. It's gonna take some getting used to this being tied to a meter rather than like a stamina bar. Okay, lots of sludge monster things. I'm assuming this is like a checkpoint.
A wall, impeding further progress. A battle was certain.
Right, L to use our shield. Oh, hello. can't tell if blocking is dependent upon the direction you're facing. Guess I can't pick that up because I'm at full health now. Interact. The Bergsons use their shard of life to cleanse corrupted objects.
Vanished by light itself, the corruption abated, leaving the shard cold in hand, dark, in need of life.
It's pretty decent voice acting here for the narrator. Okay, this is spooky. Greater chests requires a gemstone to open. Gemstones are found in different places, like this animal corpse. So this llama-looking thing.
The shard grew warm, humming softly from the harnessed energy.
Okay. Atar's ignition, divine grace. Damaged enemies burn in fire. And we have a codex entry. How do we look at the codex? We can do that for a tooltip. The rest of this just appears to be options. Actually, let's set the music down just a tad. Set everything down just a tad. This feels just a little loud. Oh, it's got full button mapping. That's nice. Okay.
Before him was now one more dangerous than those that came before.
Skill point. Gain XP as you kill enemies. When reaching a certain amount of XP, you will gain a skill point. You can use skill points to upgrade your abilities in the skill tree. Gain a skill point when you gain enough XP. Spend skill points to learn new skills. The selected abilities description can be seen in the right panel. Press A on the available skill to learn it. I guess this is the only thing I can do, so... Heaven's Strike calls swords down from the heavens upon John's enemies. Damage 150% if we go to level 1 from 0. More skills become available as you spend more skill points. And you can press minus to close the skill tree again. Straightforward enough. We have another dead animal. Can't seem to do anything with that one. I'm assuming they will have the icon if I can do something with them. I'm interested in...
Goblins, a familiar threat, albeit farther out than usual.
I'm interested in the fiction this appears to be. Building, press X to use your secondary attack. I think he did just hit me in the back there, so I'm gonna guess that your shield is a directional thing. Is there a map by any chance?
Inherently violent and ill-bade, goblins were an unfocused but constant threat. magnificent but dangerous, a land of love found and of love lost.
Well, it is pretty, I'll give it that. I'm already intrigued. I want to know more about this place. What have we here?
Before him was sacred ground, left untouched in days gone by.
And here's more corrupted stuff, I guess. What does this do? I can just go through.
Remaining calm and collected, the shock of his heart-skipping beats was concealed in expert fashion. Before him stood Linda, his eldest daughter, with bow and quiver at the ready, determined to do her part.
I'm assuming I just unlocked a new character. Electrocalypse. Divine Relic. Create a temporary aura that damages nearby enemies. Okay, so you can switch between... Oh, no. That is not a switch between, that is a... Use your shoulder buttons to do different shit. And I guess she's just gonna follow me around. Well, that's cool. I had kind of assumed this was a unlock character sort of a thing. Okay, Divine Relic, gift from the gods. Use it in a fight to turn the tide in your favor. Press the right shoulder button to unleash the Divine Relic's power. Well, we already kind of did that, so I guess we'll do it again. All right. Well, whatever's going on is unpleasant. The animals seem to be
Before the Guardians
in a bad state.
were not beasts feeding, but monsters consuming, destroying others. They corrupted and distorted, creating even more hungry husks.
So they're killing things and turning them into these little demonic creatures. Ow, that hurts a lot. Oops, that's the wrong button.
Both father and daughter gathered their thoughts, their hearts heavier than before. How would they explain what they had witnessed?
Okay. Really didn't know exactly what to expect from this, but it has already proven a little different from what I was expecting.
The ancient tree had been cut down. Together, father and daughter described the horror, the creatures dripping with decay that slithered into bodies stuck between life and death to bolster their ranks. Grandma Margaret confirmed what they all feared. It was the corruption, a cruel entity spoken of only with hushed voices, an ocean of darkness that flowed from the top of Mount Morta. And the Bergsons' duty was to stand against this devouring deluge of death. Kevin was also eager to do his part in the family's fight, especially when his older brother Mark was off somewhere. He was as much a guardian of their mountain home as any of them. She stood. If they were to reach the summit and destroy this evil, as the Bergsons of old had done in the past, they would need the assistance of the sanctuary.
Okay.
Given to the Bergsons by Rhea herself, the sanctuary was a gateway to the mysterious lands around the mountain. Margaret pointed to the huge crystal at the center of the den, revealing their next task: to activate it and open the way to the source of the corruption. And once Rhea's 3 spirits are gathered on the grounds, the only gate to the top of Mount Morta will open in this chamber. By himself, or with the assistance of those who loved him, John needed to gather the 3 spirits from their lands. Without them, he would not be able to stem the flow of the corruption.
Okay, so we can either go into the caves or we can return home. What does home get us? Okay, so you don't get to just wander around freely, but you can select whatever menu options there are, which at this point there's just a library and chapter select. Let's see what the library has to say. Codex. Who doesn't love a codex? So the Bergsons are an ancient family of guardians and heroes who protected the land of Rhea for generations. Oh my, there's a lot of text. So I guess these are all the family members. Margaret is the grandmother, the foundation of the family. Married Adam. Let's see, Mary. This might be John's wife? Perhaps? And John is the devoted father. A swordsman, of course. Saved a farm girl from the goblins, which I guess was Mary. And Linda and Mark were born. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here, so I'm gonna have to go through this probably, you know, not on stream. But there's clearly a lot to dig into if you are a codex type of person. These can be opened or collapsed, which is cool. Yeah, alright, well. I guess let's try out the caves.
Halls of Anaidia must be here, for she needs to be found.
The silk caverns, their webs litter the ground, walls, and ceilings. And I guess you can navigate to numerous areas. But this is probably all that's, like, unlocked for the moment, I guess. Okay, and so we can choose who we want to be, I suppose. So let's say we select Linda. Resetting abilities. The Bergsons can use mysterious eggs that they find in the lands of Morta to reset their abilities and rebuild their skill tree. Each reset will consume a mysterious egg. Alright, so I guess that's just for resetting all the way. So we're at level 0, I guess. We have Explosive Crescendo. Loose an arrow skyward to fall upon Linda's enemies with explosive force. That's an X ability. And Harmonize. Decrease the stamina Linda must consume while moving and shooting, increasing the duration she can perform. Not enough skill points. Right. Alright. So you can select who you want and then start. I guess let's see how Linda works.
A celestial shard chipped directly from the ancient crystal in the sanctuary. It would be the Bergsons' lifeline, a tether to pull them back home before death's fateful whisper.
I believe this is 11-Bit Studios, the same studio that did Moonlighter. What's up, Darkness? How you doing, man? And if I am not mistaken, that is the same developer, not publisher. This does have a somewhat similar style to that. I also recently picked up the expansion to Moonlighter.
The winding tunnels of the silk-covered caves, the acrid taste of poison lingered in the air. Spiders. Linda told herself it was only target practice. As she readied her bow, they must find the spirit deep within the caves.
Alright, using her bow, Linda takes out her enemies from a distance. You can use the right stick to aim and shoot at the same time. She uses stamina to shoot while moving. Stamina regenerates automatically when she doesn't move and shoot at the same time. Okay. Alright, so she is a twin stick shooter sort of thing. Last couple weeks have been really strange. Why is that, man? Okay, my stamina was out. Where the hell did John run off to? He's just like, you good, I'm gonna go do other stuff. Have fun. It's been a strange week here too, honestly. Had a recent death in the family, so... She can also dodge, okay. And she's got 2 dodges. It looks like. Now, what is this? It appears to just drag me in. But I can't do anything with it. That's fine, I guess. And what is that? Oh, okay. I can shoot that and it hurts me. Good to know. Or maybe it just explodes generally. Oh god. Oops, that was... Let's see if we can drag these guys over here, and that was the wrong thing. Yes, it does hurt them. Good. I'm gonna die. Pardon me. Oh good, I leveled up. That was a close call. Oh, that sucks, man. But, you know what? I know the feeling. Like, I have been through some of that myself. I am in therapy 4 times a month. So, yeah, good on you for watching out for your mental health. That's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. Life's tough these days. The pandemic has been super unkind to everybody, really. Okay, so we got one of these chest things that I can't do anything with. I'm assuming, because I don't have a key. Or is this... No, that's... I don't know what that is. I guess I did have a key. Gemstone Hungry. Divine Grace. Primary attack damage increases with the number of gemstones possessed. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Oops. Shoot that thing. No, that didn't do it. I can't shoot it. There it is. So what does left shoulder button do? Nothing with her, because she doesn't have a shield, I guess. Oh, and these pots are breakable. Good to know.
The Bergson began to slip away, wondering if this was death. It was warmer than they expected.
Bergsons have fallen in Silk Caverns, 1 of 2. 5-minute run duration, 76 enemies killed, 105 more gathered. I guess that's the currency. Gathered gemstones, 1, and healed 55 points. Yeah, I feel you, dude.
They gasped for air as the celestial shard brought them back.
But do be relieved. It's a good thing.
No hero could become accustomed to.
Talking about stuff is always hard, but it always ends up being better once you actually do.
As she heard John and Linda describe their foray, thoughts rushed through Margaret's head. The corruption had amplified the creature's wickedness, and no longer were they part of the harmony of the Rhea. With the new threats looming, Margaret asked Ben to prepare his workshop. He would have to take charge of enhancing the warrior family's weapons and armor.
Alright, new stuff unlocked. That's always nice. Uncle Ben can upgrade and enhance the Bergsons' equipment.
Uncle Ben reached out to the familiar warmth of the forge. If they were to reach the top of Mount Morta, their equipment would need to be of the highest quality.
Ben's workshop now unlocked. Bergsons can upgrade their gear to grow stronger. Uncle Ben uses Morv to upgrade the entire family's weapons and armor, increasing their main attributes. These are the family's main attributes. The selected attribute's description can be seen in the right panel. Press A on an available attribute to upgrade it. Yeah, sure, I guess so. So I guess this is for all characters? Yes, improves the person's maximum health by improving family's gears. Okay. That's interesting. So it's It's not per character. It's just sort of for everybody. These are locked. Sharp weapons, critical chance, base attack, swiftness, and agility. What's the difference here? Move speed and dodge chance, and rage gain rate. And finally, resilience decreases the effects of all movement hindering attacks on the Bergsons. If this developer would like to hire me as an editor, I am available at reasonable rates. Some minor copy issues here. What's going on here? I can select this girl for like a story thing.
From the sky, and most were fast asleep. Mary would write about her family, immortalizing them for future generations.
Okay. So you can get little story snippets as well, it seems. Feels so much better once I start to write, she says. I wonder what Mary was writing until well into the night. But this responsibility makes Ben stop drinking alcohol. Ben, are you a lush? And I can't select the Book of Rhea from Ben's workshop, so I guess that's a future unlock. I guess we'll go back in to the caves, I suppose. Maybe I will go John this time. Their skill levels... oh, I didn't use her skill thing last time, so I guess we'll try her again. Yeah, the narrator's pretty good, isn't he? It is a very pretty game. That was the first thing that caught my attention like quite some time ago, honestly, when it was still fairly new. I was like, yeah, this is a good looking game. I just never picked it up, and, you know, always had other stuff to play. And it recently went on sale, and there's been a bunch of updates as well. There's like a new game plus mode, there's like an extra hard mode, and they recently did like a challenge trial mode as well as a free update. So there's a bunch of stuff. I want to say there's a couple things you can purchase as well. A lot of the updates seem to have been free, which is always nice. But I guess I should upgrade her now that I am here. Skills. Loose an arrow skyward to fall upon with explosive force, right? And decrease stamina when consumed while moving and shooting. Let's go with the big explodey arrow, because I like explosions. Oh god. Okay, that worked out. Yeah. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay. It appears to have a combo meter. That's always good as well. We already got another skill point, so I could do this. That's definitely integral to this chick's thing, like moving and shooting at the same time. That's probably not bad. I can't spend any more points, I guess, on these until I get to level 4. Well, actually, I can do more on this. 160 damage instead of 120. Except that requires 2 skill points. Okay. Alright, fine. We'll give that a whirl. Guess that's a door. These switches always open doors. kind of seems like. Yeah, those little guys are kind of too fast for that explodey thing. The recharge is pretty quick though. That's nice, you can use it a lot. And it seems to be automatic, it just probably goes toward the highest concentration of enemies. So that's alright. So we'll just roll in here. Okay. There it is. All right. Yeah, I'm into this. This is fun. It's got a sort of Diablo-y feel. Let's see, this is one of these. Just a boatload of money. That's cool. Okay, and I can get one of those. Or was that just random? I don't know. It seemed like the game told me I could get keys or something from animals. Dead animals. Well, that just appeared to give me money. Maybe they're just like treasure chests. That's a very Diablo-y thing. I don't know what that is. Okay. I think I missed something over here. Okay. These fast-moving guys are tough. Crap. Gonna let my meter recharge so I can move and shoot at the same time. Linda seems a little more nuanced than John. He's a little more like straight ahead. She's a little more thinky, a little more tactical. Okay, let's see. Let's finish you guys off and then we'll upgrade. Let's see. We needed 2 to do either of those, so I guess there's no upgrading to be done at the moment. Dead end down here. This being a roguelike game, I'm assuming all this stuff is like procedurally generated. I don't know what is the deal with this thing.
Everyone was encouraged to take part in a game of destiny. A prize awaited the fortuitous, but there was only pain for the unfortunate.
Ah, who doesn't love a gamble? And I gotta turn down this narrator just a little bit. That should probably be fine. Dude's just a little intense. Ouch. Okay, well. That didn't work out so well. Guess we got the short end of the proverbial stick on that one. And there was a door up here, yes. I think. Please don't kill me, bugs. I'm not in the best of shape right now. Wait, those are a lot of spiky things. And I think that's what actually killed me last time, if I'm not mistaken. So let's run! Oh boy. Woohoo! Oh jeez. Does that hurt them? Doesn't seem like it. Hello. Well, there is a delay when you use that arrow, so probably not a good thing to use when people are close to you. I'm out of my movement stuff. Oh god, oh god. The spikes are actually fairly hard to see. Okay, so got some health and money. And there's, oh Jesus, some money over here. Alright. I don't know what these blue doors mean. Maybe they're like sub areas.
Once lost in cavern mazes, now trapped. Their poor families forever looking forward to a return that will never happen.
That's depressing. So I'm guessing these are just like the non-random segments, like special rooms. Okay, is this what is going on here? Okay.
Energy flowed around the room. Before the hero, an object of the divine.
This would be a free upgrade. Ferocious Shards. Divine Relic creates shards of ice that explode to stun enemies around them. Alright. Shards of ice that explode. Exploding ice. Sounds legit. So I can see the map here. Okay. So we do have a legend, but it doesn't appear that I missed anything, so I guess we're good to go on to the next stage, I'm assuming. Yeah, the art design in this is cool. Like, I like all these rune-looking things, and it's cool stuff. Loading.
The halls
hey, Dad.
of Anea Daya, so mesmerizing in their magnificence, would it be found at the end of a long road. And a hero never knows what is waiting them at the end of a road. Moving is more important than reaching.
Some decent writing so far. Aside from a few little copy errors, the writing seems pretty solid. Can I like do anything up here? No. Very like Mines of Moria vibes going on here. Okay, so you are... Oop. Oh boy. Oh boy. Everything about this is terrible. Leave me alone. Please. Please. Ah, shite. I think I got stuck on something there. Yeah, that was a lot of boys. I don't know if you guys can tell, I feel like the frame rate's a little inconsistent. It felt like it was a little better on the last map and has gone down somewhat. Scepter of Proficiency. Increased critical hit chance. Cool. That's bad. Okay, well... do not have a lot of life left. Mm-hmm. Ah, Jesus. No more you sneaky boys, come on now. So we got a chest here. Just money. Oh god, you're a larger version. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Yep. I was out of dodge. That was gonna do it. Okay, well, we more than doubled our run duration. Killed a lot more enemies, got some more... some more gold. I guess this is like gradually counting up what we did as it loads. Kind of an interesting way of doing it. Alright.
Kevin's need to help all began when his elder brother Mark left the house. His brother was strong, making any near him feel safe. But he left Kevin. Though Uncle Ben knew what his nephew needed, a focal point for his aspirations.
Kind of like these little interludes. And that house is bitchin', man. So much stained glass. What's going on over there? Okay, you can use the other stick, the right stick. You scroll around. So poor Kevin, young boy, wants to get out there and do things. That looks like a training ground with some sort of crazy robot thing. Oh, wow, this really lets you look around a lot, actually. Neat. Yeah, the art is really cool in this, for sure. It's a really cool look to it. It's like, reminds me of Hyperlight Drifter, but with a little more something, a little more grit, a little more detail. Poor Linda, so afraid of a tiny spider. Hey, you watch your mouth. Wherever you are. Think those fishes could fly? Their fins look too long for just swimming. I'm assuming all of this is stuff that we will unlock as we go. Although it appears at the moment there still isn't a whole lot, although we do have another story sequence.
A mother away from her child would cause worry even in the best of times. And this was far from the best of times. It had been more than a year since Mark, Mary's eldest son, had gone to live in the monastery deep in the forest. The same forest was now the source of such worrying news.
Is that so? The amount of stained glass in your house is where your is equivalent to your e-peen?
Uncle Ben pondered over a map he received from a refugee. The Silk Caverns were a twisted maze of dead ends and venomous nests. But somewhere along the right path, a Neadia, spirit of the Caldipo Caves, rested.
Let's see, let's spend some more money with Uncle Ben here. Movement speed would be very good for Linda. Base attack damage is probably just good for everybody, I guess. As would be defense. Okay, it's max health. That's a little more expensive. As is swiftness. So the cheapest thing would be warfare. Now everything's 200, so we could either go for max health or movement speed. Movement speed is not a huge upgrade. Although that's also not a huge amount of health. I'm just going to go full out on warfare for the time being. Nothing can be done. We need to try all paths, says Grandma Margaret was her name, I think. Need to consider a better arc for the blade. Mark should have left the temple in the forest already. I hope to hear from him soon. I'm assuming once we get to the forest we can unlock Mark. Just gonna guess on that one. What am I doing here? Why does a Neadia have to choose to live in something? Alright, so still caves time. I guess we will do the caves again. Should I... Let's go for John. Seems like he might be a little more robust for this area since he can hit a lot of enemies at once with his swing. Might be able to get a little further with him, we'll see. I guess maybe I thought this was going to be a little more like, say, Rogue Legacy. With children in the title. I think that was kind of what I was thinking. Like when you die, you know, you give way to your children, which might have some sort of traits in common with you or whatever. Let's see, what did this do? Yeah, sword guy is all right. I'm going to assume that Linda ends up being a little more of a viable character as she gets like more upgrades. And this guy is probably like the easier starter character. Ow. And he's got that very Dark Souls sword and shield kind of thing going for him. Although he can't dodge as much. Alright, let's see. What do we got for you? Shield of Thorns. Melee attackers take damage when blocked by John's shield. Seems pretty legit. Oh god, more of these spike things. Jesus Christ. Gotta remember that he's only got the one dodge. Okay, that thing killed itself with our thorns. That's cool. Damn it. Some gold here. More spikes. That's where it came from. There's nothing up here, so we gotta go down. What is the Doom Eternal battle mode, you ask? Doom Eternal's battle mode is its multiplayer mode. Rather than like straight deathmatch and team deathmatch. Like they had in 2016, Doom Eternal instead has... It's actually really interesting. Like, I think it's kind of cool. I haven't really played with it much. But it's neat. Like, basically one person plays Slayer and the other players are monsters. And so, like, as you kind of, like, you know, level up and get stuff, you can kind of, I think, get some perks for the monsters and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's, it seems like a pretty well-realized mode. I don't know why Steam would say it's part of the year one pass, because I mean, I'm pretty sure it's included. But there might be some like upgrades that you get as a result of having the pass. I don't actually know. I haven't really tracked how that's worked out. Right, requires a gemstone. We don't have a gemstone. But yeah, it's worth trying if you're into like multiplayer stuff. Yeah, I was not into the 2016 multiplayer at all. Like, I'm too much of an old fart, I guess. I would just wanted something a little different from what that turned out to be. Oh god, there's a lot of guys. Okay, so you get extra gold for these, like, combo things. That's cool. Yeah, I tried to like the multiplayer in 2016, and it just didn't work for me. There was something just kind of off about it. I don't really know why. It didn't seem like it was terrible. Ouch. Just not quite what I was looking for. I think I was expecting something a little more, like, straightforward. Oh god. Oh geez, I just got spiked. Man, those spikes. Those things really blend in. Alright, well, first attempt with John in the caverns was not so great. A blend of Halo and COD. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It felt a little floaty for me, I guess. I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea. The battle mode in Doom Eternal has been more compelling.
Made just for him. They would be his guide to finding himself, his focal point. The boy tested them. They felt good. Not too heavy, not too light. Like an extension of himself. Uncle Ben suggested a few practice swings outside. The daggers sliced the air, guided with an easy grace. His nephew was clearly a natural with the blades and would be ready to join his father and sister in no time. But the boy's mother had words on that subject. 2 of her children were already risking their lives, and she would not have her precious little boy out there as well.
Poor Kevin.
Regretfully, he took the daggers away. Who was he to argue with a mother when it involved her child?
Jeez, Mom.
Handing over the daggers was like abandoning a part of himself. He was meant for them, meant to be out there fighting for what was right. He just needed to convince them.
Poor sad Kevin. Now that kid, Mary, and John are all mad at me. Presumptuous Uncle Ben. Mary's right, Ben should have at least asked me before doing that. Yeah, I mean, maybe giving a kid a set of very sharp objects is not the best thing.
She knew where it was coming from. Her ancestors had spoken of such corruption flooding down the mountain. But Grandma Margaret wanted to know what it was and what needed to be done to destroy it.
One of us needs to go and see if Mark is alright living off by himself. Well, I guess that seems like a thing, doesn't it? Do we have enough money for anything? I don't think we do. We do not. What's this?
Lucy could spend hours with paper and pencil, giving life to objects she witnessed in the clouds, drowning herself in her own world, a place empty of life's trials and tribulations, and away from Grandma Margaret, who was always insisting that she continue to practice her other specialty.
But yeah, Dogness, if you're at any point interested in doing some Doom Eternal multiplayer, I'd be down to, like, I don't actually know how partying works. If you can, like, jump in with friends and just, like, fill in the blanks with randos. I don't know how that works. But I would be down to try some, because I have not spent enough time with it. I would definitely like to do more. Because it's not everyone's cup of tea, I guess. It is a little different. It's not standard FPS multiplayer, but I feel like it's a really cool idea. So I'd be interested in giving it a little bit more time. I basically just like did the tutorials and then kind of, you know, played a round or two, and I think that was about it. You picked up the expansions yet? Nice. Awesome. I really enjoy the DLC. Eh, Jesus, right, I can't dodge that much. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoy the Eternal DLCs. Tag 1 is pretty damn hard. It's pretty damn hard, but it's also very just good. It's really cool. Tag 2 is a little on the easier side. Like, once you get through Tag 1, it's a little bit more of a, like, kind of blast through and have a good time sort of a thing. It's not easy, per se, but it's definitely easier than the first one. And I'm not, like, super big on the final boss fight, because I thought the boss at the end of Tag 1 was really just exceptional. It's tough, but it's really cool. But I'll be curious to hear what you think about that once you're done with them. They're definitely worth doing. They're definitely worth doing. I'll say that much for sure. I actually encoded the, not quite the final episode, but the third map of the second DLC last night and had some like weird issues with the encode that I don't know what went wrong. I suspect I may be having some issues with my hard drive. YouTube has not enjoyed me trying to post Doom Eternal content in just HD 1080p. It's like giving me a lot of bitrate issues and looks kind of ugly. So I've been encoding it at 4K because it's really just a hack. YouTube does a better job of its encodes on its end when you upload in 4K. So even though I'm not recording in 4K, I'm just upscaling. The end result is just a video that looks a lot better and is free of some of that bitrate looking artifacting. But in doing that, that like uses a lot more time and energy on the PC, and so my encode last night did not go super well, which is a bummer.
A gift. Two hid ferocious creatures. It was the lady or the tiger of the Bergson.
Let's try this last one. Okay. Can I hit multiple ones? I cannot. I guess I am a bad gambler. It's a bit of a delay when you push the X button to use your special move. Like you can't be in the middle of an attack when you do that, or it just like doesn't really do anything. Yeah, honestly, just watching myself in the recording when I was just going through things, playing Doom Eternal Tag 2, it was just like, I just want to play this again. Oops, spider. I think I finally got a solution worked out where I can actually stream it. It's only at 720p, but at 60 frames a second, and it seems to have worked the last time I tried it, so hopefully that means I'll be able to like do some chill Ultra Nightmare practice runs or something, because I am definitely not done with Doom Eternal yet. I still really enjoy that game. I got a lot more out of Eternal than I expected, I gotta say. Anything else down here? Nope. I don't know how much damage you can actually block with that thing. Like, you can't just block all damage the whole time you hold it up, right? That would seem a bit imbalanced. Okay, here's another door. Bunch of jerks. I guess the lightning strikes are kind of random. Oh, God damn it. No, no. probably need to get better at using this shield. Okay, got some health, got some goodies. Have a gemstone, so we'll get this. Morta mortars. 3 boulders fall from the sky, damaging enemies upon impact. That sounds pretty legit. Another gemstone. Okay, so I can actually use the other stick to attack in a given direction. That's interesting. So even though that's not like a huge thing for this character, I guess all of them can kind of be played in twin stick fashion. You have found the finish room portal. Press and hold up to teleport back to it from anywhere on this floor. Okay. Cool.
In front of the hero, an object of divine energy.
Every 25 combo kills grants you a gemstone. I don't think I have ever gotten that high in a combo. That's probably going to be rough. But that's still pretty cool. We're done with the map, so... Okay. What do we have here? Just a door. Hey everyone. Oh god, that was really not smart at all. Use all the all the everything. Get the health. Nah. Okay. I guess that was fine. Man, those fucking spikes are just gonna be the death of me. Every time, I can tell already. Oh jeez. And see my big, ouch, my big thing is still recharging. Kill off this dude, ouch. These guys are real bad news. Oy. I just don't want to get spiked and I'm paranoid now. I know someone's gonna spike me. It seems like most of the enemies get kind of stun locked while you're attacking them. So I'm guessing as long as you're attacking, well, okay, that didn't quite turn out to be true. Maybe stun locked for a certain number of hits. Oh god, oh god. Oh, that's bad. Yep, that's real bad. Use all my abilities. I am not going to survive this dude, there's no way. Unless I suddenly get real good at using my shield. Okay. Oh, I hit my shield right there. It was just a second too late. Almost had it. 10 minutes. Well, I am playing on hard, right? I did select hard at the beginning, so I suppose I should be expecting to get my ass handed to me a little bit while I'm still learning the ropes. Giving us plenty of story breaks as we go, though, that's for sure.
Worried for the missing boy, Ben thought that maybe he should have hidden the daggers better. Margaret, in her wisdom, knew that nothing would have remained hidden from Kevin forever. Now, she only encouraged her son and his daughter to hurry and find him.
Okay, I guess we gotta go unlock Kevin now. Let's see, do I have any work emails? Nope. Looks like they are praying or something for Kevin. Happen to know Lucy doesn't want to accompany her father like Kevin. Shouldn't be far away and should be back soon. What are the Dread Valley spiders doing here? Those people shouldn't have come to the caves. Spiders aren't people. What do you mean, Margaret? Okay, let's see if we can do some upgrading. We can. A little more max health or a little more movement. It's a tough call. I guess we could do one of each, right? Ooh, wow. Next, swiftness upgrade is pricey. Okay. Spent all our money. Hopefully that'll make us a little more survivable, and hopefully we can get out of at least this particular area of the caverns? Alright. Oh, and I actually had an upgrade for John and did not realize it. That's my bad. That's my bad. Sorry, John. Alright, well, let's see what John has to offer us. Once we get in here. I assume that is persistent.
Expensive and dangerous. Would they be able to find Kevin? Or would the spider's lair trap Kevin first?
Let's see, I am not level 4. I can't do any of these next 3 upgrades, but I could do one of these. Increased damage for Heaven Strike, that's pretty good. I'm going to do that because I use it more consistently than I do my shield. After spending enough skill points, each family member unlocks their own unique set of family traits. Family traits benefit all other family members as well. If a family member grows in power, so does the entire family. Oh. Okay, so of the same blood, increase the max health of all family members? Okay, so that's these on the side. These diamond-shaped ones. And the circular ones are for the individual. Okay, sweet. So we should have now several health upgrades. The one that we bought before at Ben's workshop. And the one we just got here. Oh, come on, man. Okay, yeah, that's nice. That was a solid upgrade on that. Heaven Strike, or whatever you call it. That'll help a lot. Okay. Didn't get anything from that. I guess we can do this because these are usually dead ends, right? What is this all about?
A table fit for the gods, but a game made for mortals. A hand was to be placed upon
Hong
the pedestal,
of the gods?
and
Oh.
the best was to be given.
Okay. This is funny. So I am supposed to hit the thing. It appears. Alright, that's funny. I'm into it. Dazing Spheroid. A companion that stuns enemies. Okay, yeah. Cool. Companions are always good if it means I don't have to keep track of them. Okay, definitely feeling a little more powerful. Yeah, okay. This is it's feeling better. I do not have any gemstones. Definitely a lot harder to make use of the little, like, explodey podium things as this dude compared to Linda. You have to be able to immediately dash away. Okay, some health and gold. That is gold, not a gemstone. What is hitting me? Or does being next to this thing hurt you? No? I don't know what that was. I don't know what this symbol on the floor is. Saw one of those before. So I think your hits slow them, but don't stun them, I think is what that is. Oh, that's a good call. Maybe you do need to kill enemies in its vicinity. Darkness with the smots. Yeah, it's a possibility. Feels like it kind of diminished now? I don't know. Don't know what these are either. Are these decorative? Like... Guess we'll find out as we go. Oh, okay, that's how you can quickly access the map. That's good to know. And this is the teleporty thing. Totem of Defiance. Create a totem that knocks enemies back. Alright, that sounds okay. These like random noises that happen during the loading screens. Yes, the totem would be great for the archer. Alright, dead end room. Alright, we're gonna get past this time, I swear to God. Let's see, we still don't have a gemstone, so I can't go back and get that other... Damn it. Not sure how this works. How does this work? Do they just get slowed? Yeah. That stun is really helpful with those guys. So I have a gemstone now, so I could go back and get that other treasure chest. Oh god. That was a terrible idea all around. Okay, it like pops them out of it. It's pretty helpful. Helps you kind of keep guys where you want them. Damn it. Stop it. Those little guys seem to just do webbing, not actual damage. Okay, wow, lots of gold, no health. Keep these guys out of here. Damn it. I'm in trouble. So it seems like you have a sort of base health, like 30 in the case of this dude. Where if you get hit, it'll recharge you back to that. I still cannot use my totem. Okay, actually used my shield properly for once. That's good. Nice, okay. Feather pin, charm, increased dodge chance. Let's see, charms are magical objects found in the land of Morta. Each one of them has a special effect that can be activated by pressing down. They are consumed after being activated. You can only carry one charm with you before activating its effect. So it is a consumable. Can't open this, don't have a gem. Damn it. Ooh. Leveled up at just the right time. It doesn't fully restore your health, but it gives you a little. Unleash your rage to become temporarily become invulnerable and deal thorn damage to attackers, and that's with ZL. Or just increase the armor. You know what, right now I'm just gonna go for the armor. Because I would like to get the hell off of this floor. If I could. Dang it. Spider guy, stop! Sheesh. Okay, that's a gemstone. So I can open this. And it's a bunch of gold. Little stunny bro here is very helpful. And now... Okay. Crap. Yeesh. Ah, boy. Get away, get away, get away. Damn it, I did not do that in time. Oh, geez, he, stunned me there. These little, like, ice things. Oy, okay. In the effect of a random obelisk of Morta. I don't know what that does, but I haven't used my dodge thing yet. So I guess before we get off this floor, next big group of enemies, I'll use the dodge thingamabob. It's probably gonna be in here. Oh, hello. What happens if I hit up? You have to hold it. Will it teleport me here? Yes, okay. I didn't know if it would give me the option to like go between teleport points or just the last one. Oh god. And I think actually we might kind of be done with all this. Yes. Nope, another door here. Okay, this we'll use our dodge on right now. 3 dodge chans. Ah, no. Use the thing. Oh god, you guys. Boy. Keep forgetting about the webbing that they drop, which slows you down. That makes a pretty big difference. That stuff is a problem. That stun is good. Okay, that's a gemstone. So we can open this. Boatload of gold. Oh no. Those guys are unpleasant at range. Not so bad, I guess, if they're on their own. Might get something out of you? Nothing. And oh, what is this? Pardon me, I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna go back and grab my thingy that I left lying around. I can remember where the hell that was. God, where was that? Here it was. I don't know what that will do. And what is that up in the corner? There's an icon that's like half filled in and I don't know what it is. Let's go see. It's nice that the movement's pretty peppy.
Who could have possessed such a powerful object?
Who indeed? Yuki the Seal. A protector that provides armor and occasionally negates all incoming damage. Well, that sounds great. Nice. I'm very much okay with this. So I'm pretty sure we're about to fight a boss. I don't know what this little like sub room is. But I'm guessing that that thing on the map over there is boss? Mini boss. Well, should we do the boss? I don't know what this room is that we opened up here. It had a big old something on the floor that looked scary. Like, that looks like boss, right? Like, full on boss?
Not all in the
Crap.
caves were refugees.
Oh, it's a
Some
challenge
were just
room.
Traveling merchants stuck in a bind.
Please don't kill me, little tiny slugs. That was just wave 1. So I guess if we get through all the waves, we could unlock that dude. Oh, this is gonna... Yeah, this doesn't seem great. Not so bad. Not so bad.
Strange-looking shopkeep dusted off his clothes, tipped his hat.
Yes, the Maker Slayer skin is awesome.
Stop by his shop later, promising something for all adventuring needs.
Okay, we unlocked a dude. Yeah, some of the skins in Doom Eternal are awesome. They've done a great job on some of those. I really enjoy playing around with that stuff. From now on, he will appear in the dungeons offering goods for a price. Okay. Wait, what now? I have the Totem of Defiance, but I can get spare time, reset the cooldowns of all your abilities, and fill your rage. But that is a swap? Okay, I'm currently using the Defiance instead of spare time, which... Can I go in here? What is this? Or is that just where he was, I guess? I don't really... I like the one I had, honestly. Can I talk to this dude? Like, we say hey? Or did you just give me that for free? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you get some really nice skins in Doom Eternal also for just going through the DLC content. They give you some stuff along the way, and for finishing them, it's pretty legit. Alright, I guess it's a mini boss. These sounds on the loading screen. Highly amusing. Okay. What is this? Free delivery. Spawn a chest. Alright, I will take that and use it. Spawn a chest. I don't have a gemstone to open it. Or does it? It's free. Tis free. Excellent. Smash all this stuff. Yes, weapon swapping is 100% the game changer for Doom Eternal. If you watch my series on YouTube, Pretty Average Nightmare, I go into some of that stuff in some of the earlier bits. I want to say around like Super Gore Nest and the level after. What, the Arc Complex, I think? I want to say it's one of those I start off and show like all my keybinds. Like I use not WASD, not WASD, but ESDF for my key combos, specifically so I have more access to like Q and W, RT, GA, ZXCV, all that stuff, because I use all of those for my weapon swaps, which is actually really helpful. And yes, it's a 100% playthrough. I have like one episode per map, so I mean, if at any point you're like it's not a, I want to say I missed like a couple of secrets along the way, but yes, it is 100%, and I do have stuff up for tag 1, and I'm almost done with tag 2 as soon as I finish the encode on this latest video and then do one for the final boss. That will be complete. But my goal was to talk about some of that stuff, like as far as just how to improve your play a little bit. And key swaps or weapon swaps are definitely a big part of that. There is a dedicated weapon swap key, which will just take you back and forth between, I want to say it's your weapon wheel key if you just tag 1, the Ancient Gods Part 1. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. Just the acronym. Initialism, whatever. But yeah, you can tap the weapon wheel key to just automatically swap back and forth between your, like the weapon you're on and the last one that you used. So that's a fast way to do it, which can be helpful if you don't have like convenient keybinds, but definitely having like really convenient keybinds where you can just switch to whatever you want really quick, that helps a whole bunch. So I go over some of that in the beginning of one of those videos.
All 8 eyes studied the one so willing to walk into their own tomb.
I'm gonna die. I got 29 health. I am super gonna die. Oh, and you let out these guys. That is bad news for me. Nope. Please don't. Please don't. Ah, there it is again. Oh boy. Oh god. Yep, that was that was a very fast death. I was not in a position to be doing that at all. Bergsons have fallen in the burrow. 21 minutes. Killed a bunch more enemies. Got a bunch of gold. Ooh, got a lot of gold. That'll be helpful. Oh, sorry, Morv. A very odd currency name. And we got the shopkeeper, so hopefully that'll make future runs a little better. Everyone having a chat.
Kevin returned from his saga with barely a scratch, yet he found no appreciation from his family, especially his father. Despite having Linda on his side, his father was still mad at him for endangering himself and worrying them all, including his pregnant mother. His favorite line, asking how he could be so inconsiderate. He wondered whether Uncle Ben would understand his bravery and initiative better. With his heroic act unrecognized, the young boy waited, frustrated, expecting more punishment. What Kevin had not expected was his parents' reaction. Heartened by his courage, his father was going to teach him the ways of battle, and his mother was far from the frail and always worried housewife she had seemed. A Bergson through and through, she gave him her blessing and asked only that he temper his courage with caution. Perhaps Uncle Ben was the happiest of them all. Not only had his nephew held his own in combat, but had done so with the weapons he had made for him. Kevin only wished his older brother Mark was there to witness his rise to the family calling.
Wow, okay. I guess we have Kevin now. The Family Trials game mode is unlocked. This was in the latest update. You can select it from the title screen. Although I thought I could select from the title screen to begin with. Maybe it wouldn't actually let me. Can't help worrying about Kevin. He can be such an incautious imbecile. Wow, that's that's quite the take there, Mom. It's a little much. Proved himself even if it was the hard way. He did bring home a bag of gold, so I mean, let's not be too hard on Kevin, hey? Holy Readana, eternally grateful that you brought my son home safely. What FOV do I use for Doom? I want to say it's 115, which is fairly arbitrary. Some people just crank it all the way up, and some people might not want it quite so wide. I feel like that's a happy medium, but something like 110, 115 is probably pretty good. You can kind of experiment with that pretty easily and see like what feels comfortable to you, but having it a little higher is generally better. Gives you a little more like peripheral awareness so that you don't get snuck up on quite so much. And if it bothers you a lot at first, if you like crank it way up and you're like, oh dude, this is hard to get used to, you can kind of like gradually increase it, you know, start at like, 90 or 100. I'm not sure what the default is. It might be 90. But just crank it up by like 5 or 10 periodically, just until you sort of get used to it. I've also discovered that I like the classic weapon thing where it sticks the weapon right in the middle. For some reason, I find that like a bit helpful as well. So I started using that at some point. Let's see, what do we got here? Home status. Kevin is now available in character selection. He has learned the ways of the assassin. And Uncle Ben can upgrade and enhance the equipment. Yes, we know. So I guess we can just clear these notifications, letting us know that new things happened. Alright, we got a whole bunch of gold we can spend. Like a bunch. That's really expensive, actually. The swiftness is really pricey. So I guess better to go for a little more health. It's probably good, and then we can do a little more damage. And that's all we can afford for now. Fair enough. So the grow outside the house is indeed pleasant these days. Isn't it, though? Ben and John out here talking. Such a gigantic spider. Gigantic. Very gigantic. John is extremely strict, but Kevin is a smart boy. Dude, you are talking to John. Like right now. That's a little funny. And I guess Kevin's out here ostensibly practicing, although his audio seems a little incorrect. That's a bit weird. That might be a bug. Got these little like fishing holes over here. What a pretty game. It's really nice. Really nice. With all this talk of Doom, honestly, I kind of just want to go play some Doom. I should probably check work things, but I might just come back and actually try and test out my streaming setup again, because I got interrupted by unhappy news yesterday. So I might give it another whirl and make sure everything is like set up appropriately. I think it is, but only time will tell. But for now, I think we'll call it on Children of Morta. This has been a fun little first glance at the game, and I'm having a good time. So I think I'm definitely going to come back to this at some point, because it seems pretty cool. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I don't know, we'll see if nothing is happening on the work front. I think I have to respond to a query about bathroom renovations from a local contractor. But after that, maybe I'll come back and actually give some Doom a whirl. We'll see. Alright, thanks y'all, and I will see you guys on the next one.